my mic is on now. And then let's kick on the little browser audio there. That's looking good. And what if I come over here and refresh this? That still says starting soon, but I'll bet I need to transition, of course. Durr. And then that should catch up over there. Cool. I guess that's how things work. I don't know. I need to write a guide for myself because it's apparently been 16 weeks since I've done a stream setup and everything's changed. All right. Mellow greetings. Welcome back to Space Engineers. We are in our time-lapse build and record area here. This is our vehicle assembly bay. I set up just for such a purpose as a nice slow panning time-lapse build. I was looking around on Reddit earlier to get inspired to build a little bit of something, and I saw some questions about one of the AI block inventions that Keen had made in their Automaton's demo, the little miner that has the detachable flying vehicle that goes to deposit its ore load and return back to the moving vehicle. I've already done a couple videos of that and I posted them in the description there. Other folks have done them too, but I think what the Reddit user really wanted was that mining vehicle in the flying piece itself. And since I am absolutely terrible at doing things that look very, very nice, I'm going to use this opportunity to make something that looks nicer than what I normally do. In my video, it was pretty well utilitarian. So I'm going to not make this black because it's going to be a little more difficult to see. We'll utilize... not that. I gotta remember my controls now too. We'll leave that there. Control Shift P. There we go. We'll pull this up a little bit. We'll start with some references and the mining vehicle itself. And we'll probably have to go back and forth between this and the flyer. So if I pull this out a little bit and give myself a couple of breaks, that'll give me some room to work with on both of these vehicles as I go back and forth on some reference. So let's take a look at some of our references here too. This will not pull up, but I just pulled some screenshots off of the video itself. Let's take a look at this guy. You are a little flying critter, small grid mining flying craft. And even though we've got some nice cool blocks, I haven't looked at all these new things yet, but we're going to use what Keen had in their video and try to replicate that as best as possible. And then I should also try to take note of what exactly is being used in these videos, just so I can increase the value, the look value, that second kind of cool, of my own grids. Where do we have for caps on here? Conveyor cap is probably actually under the conveyor ports, actually. There's a small cap. No small cap there. I know they exist, but where? Access panel. Well, I will just put this here for now. Actually, let's just not put anything there for now. That way we don't have to undo and redo things all over the place. I'm going to spend a lot of time looking for the various blocks I need for this build. I don't know where they're all at. Actually, probably want old school thrusters. Oh, you linked them all together. That's neat. Yeah, Keen has also moved stuff around quite a bit since the last time I had played. We've had some nice quality of life updates, reorganizing a lot of things. And this is going to be a little difficult trying to relearn. Put you in here. Actually, you're supposed to be up. So. And then probably 1 and up. And there's supposed to be a battery in there at some port. Over here, and we can put in some of these greebling blocks. That'll give us some anchoring points to go forward as well. Let's do you. Then some of these angular bits to come out. And this will give us a bit of connection points to go back this way towards the battery and the back end of the vehicle itself. There's a lot of little details on this vehicle that make it look nice. And just paying attention to some of these little greebles should help me make better looking craft overall. Put this like so. We're kind of framing this thruster in here. One of the things I like to do is keep things to a minimum. One, it's easier to repair, it's cheaper. I'm also very lazy when it comes to some of these as well. You are an odd block, aren't you? Where is this? This one? That can't be right. Although it kind of does look right. Those are half blocks for sure. That comes out smoothly, so you can't be what I'm looking at. Unless you're one of these odd transition pieces. I don't think you are what I was looking at. Yeah, that's what you are. You are this transition piece. And that way it can slowly build up in here. Because they don't have a whole lot of space to work with. And then this is probably might actually be nothing in there. We will put half blocks in just because that's what it looks like from the image and it's consistent with the build. There we go. Then, if that comes around back this way, doing something similar, I'm going to come down on the half slab, and then this actually curves in using the tips, which is another interesting thing to do too. You kind of give it a little bit of strength, a little bit of angle. I think there's supposed to be some checkered or dash pieces under here. We'll get to that in another picture as this comes around. Probably need a different reference photo as I'm running out of space on this one. That, and I can't tell what goes here. Got bad angle on it. I do see after the thruster probably is another half slab. Could even be full slab in there. And that's actually, no, we'll do the half. Could keep it lower profile, which is consistent. And this is where the battery comes in here. And that battery's probably not going to want to sit right there because it's want to go in the middle. 2, 3, actually it needs something else in there? No, can't be. Can be. No, it can't. Put you here. 6 goes the battery. Hang it low in. We don't. I want you there, but I want you lower. put you here, just so I have some attachment point. These blocks have odd attachment points sometimes, and then you have to like place other little blocks to anchor it. So it'll want to attach towards the center of that battery for sure. So now if I get rid of these other little pieces I put in, especially because they are definitely not what I want there. Whatever inverted square corner that is, you're gone. But now I did have those attachment points on there for the battery, and that looks right. These look like this guy. Turn my mirror mode back in, save me some block placement, and then move around to some armored panels. I usually try to set up my blocks in a familiar way, so it doesn't matter where I'm at. I can just pick something up and start building with it. Makes it a little easier on me to not have to figure out what page I have everything on. But there again, I'm kind of sloppy about it too sometimes. So even then there'll be some inconsistency with what I'm doing. This, I definitely see it angling in, so it's got to be, can't be this, even though it'll fit. It's got to be just this guy. Got to be you. And then that's got to be a whole square. Right there. That's looking pretty accurate. That's about all I can get from this picture, it looks like. Let's move to another reference picture. Actually, what I do here, I'll move the miner over. Let's go to desktop capture and transition. Okay, that was an interesting fade. Cool. Yeah, this is what I was looking at for this first picture. I can see some little winglets on here that I missed too. I'll have to grind those down and put them back in. But this is what I got for that first bit. There's a thruster sticking out over here and some other stuff that I couldn't get to, but we'll go and look at another angle, and then we can, looks like we're duplicating what we have up front. We have some more of the functional blocks under here. Let's move over to this and work a bit more for what we have. Hop back over to Space Engineers and transition back so I can move my reference back over. And let's go to put my thrusters in here. It's good to try to place the largest blocks first. And that way you know you've got something to work around. Getting minor placements of things or even putting extra stuff in is a lower priority. Like I can shove a battery anywhere. I don't have to have a battery in a particular place. I can use those blocks as fillers. Same thing with gyroscopes. Just fill them wherever I can in this ship. You go up here, you will not. So you're a half slope. You're not going to sit there either. Maybe there's another angular slope. It's definitely a half panel, but it's at an angle. Yeah, so this is a base one. Base slope where you're attaching low. I want you to attach higher. You're not going to attach there. There you go. And you can attach there. That's by the battery. Or will you attach there beyond it? Actually get rid of, oops, I want that gone. Put you on the other side. Oh, I didn't want you down. Make it go up. There it goes. That looks like the proper placement for it. And then we can re-add our blocks back here. This is going to be, well, looks like it should be extended a bit more. Nope, this thruster rather goes back. It does not extend past the battery. We'll just use one shape reference off of another so that we can get what we want in the right places, because we're not doing this for just fun. We're doing this so we can get as close to our picture reference as possible. And then we'll do the same thing down here we did at the front. We already have this piece selected. And we'll go back on this half block. And if I could rotate. There we go. So that should be consistent through there. And then these panel vertical piece that will attach onto here. Back and not the base, not the tip, not the slope. We just want a half panel, normal half panel, light panel, half panel. And you're centered. I don't want the center. There you go. Or do I? You should attach a little higher. Or, hold on, little trickery here. Where's the littlest piece? The tiniest square. Where are you? No. Yes, you. No, no, no. Rotate, please. Go where I want. There you are. A little trickery. And watch all these blocks be having the wrong textures when I put them in the right way. So there I used, I don't have the drill. Should probably put a drill on here. Or the pointing. There we go. So here, this is coming out, and instead of being centered on a singular block, it's got a split. Let's go and swap back over. It's got these two separate panels here, so it's actually two separate blocks, because there's nothing that would fill those two spaces appropriately. That's kind of an interesting thing that he did there. And I've done similar things too to get a design. I don't widely use it. I don't widely build, which is why sometimes it's important to do a build study. That's probably the more appropriate thing for this stream to be called, is a build study. Let's hop back and try to find any other references that we can on this particular grid. We do have an antenna, a little antenna. You are pointed down. I usually like my antenna pointed in a logical looking way too. Down and away would be fine. And I think this thing has just the one little elbow, and it's got to have an ejector. It's got to have an ejector. What are we doing? We need the littlest ones, the wrong one there. I bet this is where that conveyor cap. Yeah, sure is. Let's go back to our reference to look at the front. And we can get that conveyor cap. Little conveyor cap was on the little conveyors for the small grids, which makes sense. We can't see this at all on that internals. I don't even remember, did we have armored ones yet? I'm going to use armor in here just so I can have extra attachment points. So there's a curve, and that can't be right. It's got to be. Thinking about it, you'd have to have a curve, and then you'd have to have a sorter to shoot out everything, and then you could go to the ejector. Oh, yeah, here's another block that's changed around. We'll go to all blocks. Home. The block that I wanted, the connector, used to be under collectors, but now it's not. So we'll update this. And now we've got more connectors on here, and different kinds too. We will use the little one, because now the little connectors are pretty good. That can be connected. That looks good. Back to that front, I'm not seeing anything special on there. And this looks like it may even be too low. I want to say that this vehicle is flat underneath relatively. Take another look at our reference. I don't see this hanging down, so it's possible that it went up and over to come down space backwards and be back here, so it's in line. Because as this is, it's not right. So we're going to have to do, if we draw a picture, so it's going to have to actually go up and over so that this area can be the ejector, and then this area can be the actual connector, so it can spit things out. I'm going to go back over here real fast. I already have this half block selected. Let me just hop on the other side because I don't want to fuss with rotating it. Of course I put it in the wrong place. I go there, and then half block. So it's almost like this has a frame under it. And then this looks like it expands out. And then I can't see what occupies this space, but I would imagine it is some of our flight controls and other items that we need to make this actually work. Because it's not going to do anything at the moment. We look pretty decent from here. This almost has, and I'll bet it is, another panel coming across the battery so that we don't see the battery. And I'll bet my battery's backwards too, for all that matters. Yeah, that's a rusty looking panel, and my battery sure is backwards. Will I lose things? I will. I will lose lots of things on here. Those are connected. I don't want to lose those things, because I need the lights on the battery to go to the rear. That's what it looks like. We'll see if we can't get some other stuff in there first. I don't think it's a big deal for the lights not to be visible, but we are trying to replicate here. It's flying away. Looping the video. Let me just put this over here and transition so we can see some of those little blocks. So that's the lights of the battery at the rear. I need to fix that. And this is the video I just cut off of their official trailer and slowed it down a bit so I could see a bit more. But you can see, yeah, there's some of the functional blocks that are going to be in there. There's going to be some of the little warning panels in there, because panels were one of the big deals that they released. There's a landing gear, or the mag plate under there, rather. And yeah, everything in here is flat. So this definitely, like, that's the end of the cargo container. And you've got to do something with this guy to get it to go to the right way. Take a look to get a better angle. So we've got event controller here. You can put that on the outside. It's a good aesthetic block. With the mag plate in the middle, we can do that because we have to loop our connector up and over. And then it lands back down. See it back here. Can I tell where it's dropping? I can't really. All I can really see is it off the truck, where it's connecting back here. And it looks like it's somewhere in there. It doesn't really matter. Let's transition back. And I will make that change in here. This is definitely gone, gone, and you will go up instead. We will use elbows, curved tube, do this. Yeah, up and over, up and over. That completes the loop. Sorter is next. Sorter and connector. And that gets all those pieces together. And this opening here, or even an opening or the recess of the opening. Let's skip back into our video. Yeah, that is in the middle. And it is forward. That event controller. So let's take a look there. That's the forward half, so we're looking at it on the other side. It probably has a couple of event controllers, to be honest. I haven't actually thought through what this is going to need. Are you under my computers, my programmable blocks? You are not. Things have changed, so I have to find a whole bunch of stuff again. Or just replace them on the board, because we don't need all this other stuff in here. That's an event controller. Get the event controllers and just toss them right here. Probably won't need anything else for those. We can always add things back in as we go along. You go there. We had some more plates. These little plates can go here. That's the one there and there. This was probably, I know that's a magnet, or magnetic plate rather. You can go there. My landing gear has the mag plates. My favorite landing gear is the mag plate, because that can sit nicely right there. And then we'll probably need some flight controls. The best... Oh, where did you fly off of? The task one. Oh, you know what goes right there? The task one. Yes, that's the dead space. That goes right there. Let's turn you off. The task one. That's the front over there. There we go. It's flights. Flight can go... Flight. Were there two flights? And out. It can go out and back on a singular path. I'm going to put two. No offenses, no defenses, and we want our task recorder. Or was it the recorder? No, the recorder is the one that did the things. So we were going to do the things over here. So you can go out and back on the task block and have you be as close to that connector as possible. And then our flight should be good. We can put this back on here. You should have a gyroscope as well. So I'm going to put a gyroscope down there. I don't want to put it against the battery. I really do, because that's what I tend to do, but I'm literally about to rip out that battery. All of that is somewhat connected. Not really. But that looks pretty neat. It's a simple, it's got little chunky bits on the sides for the thrusters. It gets thin enough on the outside for little landing feet, and it looks like it has a chassis body. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it should. It's a replica of something that Keen did. Elegant and simple. That's not going to tell us much. That's not going to tell us much. Looking through my references again here. much. And I'll have to cut this and add little extra bits in as we go. Because I think there were timers in there that I needed in addition to the event controllers and other things. I don't even remember what I was doing for the original. But right now we're just going to work on getting the main aesthetics of these two craft put together. So there really should be an up thruster somewhere. There's just no place for it. I hope the AI will forgive us for it. Or for not having it, rather. But we've got our flight. We've got forward, backwards, left, right, and up. That's all we need. The antenna. This doesn't need a beacon. It's going to follow the beacon. And the beacon it's going to follow is going to be 1 on the truck and then 2 on the base. So that looks pretty good. Let's move to the truck next. I'm actually going to get rid of that stem. It will extend out this way for the truck and give ourselves a little bit of breathing room. This truck doesn't have a lot of good angles to look at. Let's start with moving this out a bit further. And then up. Then up, I said. We'll start with that cab and we'll work. I don't know why I'm going to insist on going backwards that way, but that is what I will do. Because I could have just flipped it around. Not you, this cab. This is the cab it used. That is that whole shape. It's got arms and stuff set to it, but I really can't see what goes where in this reference. This one comes back a little bit. I think it might even have an H2O2 generator. It's definitely got an ore detector, which would make sense for your drilling mechanism. Ore detector. Get rid of the smoke. And that's got a conveyor cap on it too. So this sits proud. Go back here. This has a conveyor cap. Little one. Little one sets. Like so. And that may just be a square. I'll bet that's a control block of some sort. Go here to 9. It looks like 1.5 up this way. And this little space here will be filled with something else. So I've got half blocks here. And it looked like arms. I think in my video, I said it's questionable whether or not these are rotors. I want to say that they are. That it had capability of rotating its arms. I don't want these pictures. This is an okay one. I can see that this is not a half block. What are you guys? Let's move my picture over. Make this a bit larger. We can transition so I'm not talking to myself while I do it. But these guys here look like conveyors of some sort, which follow the logic of the drills being conveyored appropriately. And it was separated slightly in one of the videos, so I'm going to say that's the advanced rotor, so it's pushed out. I'll change this to the 2x1 base, and there's likely that rotor is in this row for everything. And then we can start building out some of these other bits. I think if we get what we can see in place, we can kind of ad-lib with everything else. So there's kind of another connector down here. These are buffer wheels or something up front, and other bits and bobs. There's looks like another connector over there for some reason. But those are the armored conveyor ports for sure. They put a lot of little details in here. I guess if you know intimately what blocks are available and which ones aren't, you can say, oh, this, I don't recognize this. This is a thing. This is this thing. Or this could be this thing. So yeah, those are the conveyor conveyors. Move that over. And this is right off that back cab, because that's our ore detector. And what would you be? These ports are up there. I would venture a guess that the ports are piped too. So let's actually take a look at our... Because if we have our armored conveyor port, and you're going to be an elbow, because both of those look the same. And it's very possible that both of these are the armored conveyor ports going up, so that is piped. That's most likely. These are probably T's. And then this is probably a T down, so you see that cross all the way through. And it's a matter of the paint is the difference for what I'm building with in here, on why it's going to look a bit different from what we've got elsewhere. And if that's the case there is another block that we can utilize that goes here. Take a look at our front. That it slopes down there, but I want to say tapers back more. Could be another other block. Not this like I thought it was. I think there's transition block for it. No. That, I want it to come back. No. That 2x1 half again. There you go. I don't think that's it either. What are you? Going along that 2x1 base. No. None of you look right. That does, but I know it's not. If I find something better, I'll put it in. But that should be okay for the meantime. Rotors, we want advanced rotors, because our advanced rotors will give us the ability to set these correct. And if we're going to be meticulous with something, might as well try to go all the way. I'm going to put 0 as forward. That's why I turned off the mirror mode there briefly, so that these could be identical. And otherwise they'd be flipped 180 from each other. And that's going to give us these two subgrids, and these aren't going to build identical anymore. That subgrid, we're out far enough away from there, so it's more than likely another elbow. Where are you at, subgrid? Look at this one. How about mirror mode off for you? There we go. Now I can see. I'm gonna go, not a T-junction, I'm gonna go armored elbow, just because that seems to be what we're doing. Armored elbow, and we'll go face down. That should be right. And then we'll just do another armored one forward, I would assume. We'll also put that greeble piece down. And then we'll do one more. We'll do one more, because this looks like we're gonna mirror mode our subgrids, yes. And at this point I could like replicate it, but or just pull it off on another copy. Actually, this is where some of the other bits that we have in Space Engineers 2 would be really good, where I can just like, oh hey, I built the thing, and now I'm just going to make a copy of it real fast. but I can't do that here. This is Space Engineers 1. We can't do that yet. That goes there. That looks about right for that cab height. And then we do have this guy. And the conveyor cap. Very nice looking brick. Conveyor cap. Go like so. That looks like what we've got there. And then maybe a half greeble up here is what you do. See if I can get another angle of it. Yeah, that I'm gonna call a half angle. If I can. That's the drill. Let's go back here. U, yes. U square. Let's turn that off now. What's the top? That's the top. Square, square, slope. Losing my reference. Square, square. Now you're something else. I see you being tricky over there, Keen. You guys did this guy? No. You did something else in here that looks like it's ending at a triangle. That can't be right though. Unless it's you. It's you. That's it. Have you now. 1, 2, 3. And then we're also going to have the bigger tip down. And then these guys. No. Yes? Gotta be. No. I don't like that. Let's go back to our other reference. And this is back to 7 because it's triangle. And you are the slope. You're just the half slab. There we go. Or yes. Yes, that's fine. Because that's like the over coverage. Actually, mine is too streamlined. This goes up 1. The rotor comes through. So mine, hold on, I'm gonna pull this back over here. I see what I did, but that was a good learning bit. Transition over. So mine has, I said that rotor comes out here. They went up and over, and I just went straight across. So I've completed this bit, but I'm down here too low. I'm moving this back over. My reference and transition back. So go here and here. This whole thing goes up 1. So I can just come over here, use my clean side because I'm not going to. I couldn't I? The only thing that would matter is this bit. No, because it's got to be mirrored after that. This is the up. Can I mirror it at that point? I bet I can. I bet I can. But I won't. I'll just build it twice. So what did I do? This, and then this, and then it went forward 2 more, I'm going to say. 2 more straight conveyors. Two more straight conveyors into the drill. Into the drill. Now it's a little bit higher. That way you get the visibility. You can have a little more visibility there than you can there. That's completely blocking your path. And I bet that's why they went with that approach. Here, you are another one of my favorite blocks. 2x1 base. And then do we have something up the top? Looks like halvesies all the way through. You guys. This one, 2. 2, 3. This. Come in here. So we come down. 7 again. Triangular piece to come in. There we go. That's got a bit more girth to it, and that's exactly what we want. And that looks good there, and then we can come actually do a triangle probably. Is what these parts are. Triangle, triangle, and I'll just put square in. Because now it's got that little overhanging bit, and that looks pretty good. We'll just add our little decorative plates here, and another cap. Cap, pull it forward. And we'll pop that guy off. That whole piece should fall. It's fine. So if we did angle up again, reinforced curve. Where did I? Trying to do attention to details and make things right, then I'm not paying attention to where I'm putting the thing. Looks like I went in, and then these should go down. They're probably inward facing too. Oh, I already did that down there. Oopsie. Then we'll snip you, and instead we'll just cut or copy. One of the bad things about working in tight spaces with all of these subgrids and everything is if you cut the wrong thing, you can actually cut the entire bed that you're on here. And it doesn't like that I'm that close to it. So it doesn't, you might cut the whole bed, as in I could accidentally cut this entire area that I'm in, which would mess up my time-lapse recording over here. And then it would also mess up my build itself, because then this would fall, and I do not want that. Pop in our drill over here. Yeah. Easier to do it this way. I don't think it liked the bounding boxes, even though this is a subgrid, that the bounding boxes were overlapping. Sometimes the game can be finicky about that. It just does not like have to calculate. It will if you use merge blocks and you like have a small craft to come over and push things, it'll take it. But normally I don't think it likes to push those things next to each other. Or at least you have to finagle it to be just right. And I don't care that much at the moment. Just want to get close enough. Not going to be extra determined to try to make something fit when I can just rebuild it just as easy. One here, and there you go. Rotate that way. 3 and here. There we go. Then a couple of triangles. Put here because we got it. That's looking pretty good. I think that is a good approximation. It's a good approximation for it. Then we've got something for the back and the bed. We need to get transitioned to the back of that bed. We have a good visual here where it's mounting in. Take a look at that. Do this moving over, transition, screen. So here we can see our conveyors coming across. We've got our arms set up now. I'll need to do something about this on the undercarriage. Now this is my undercarriage. And these might actually be another weird transition piece, now that I'm looking at it, instead of just a standard triangle. But this is what I want right now. This will take me off that main body, and then I can start building this bed. This bed has some mechanics in here. One, it's got this sensor, and then two, it's got another connector over here. And then everything else that it's gonna need to function. So it looks like there's another event controller in here. There we go. That's a beautiful picture of everything that needs to go in there. We'll use this as a reference. They even have a couple hydrogen tanks. That's the event controller, another event controller, that's the connector, cargo container, because that's what the truck is actually going to be using. And then we know some of the spacing off of here, so we're coming down on these triangular slopes. Let's go back over. Oops. We want stop at Windows, go over. Stop trying to help me and help me. These guys. My slopes. And then we can go back to mirror. Back to mirror. And how am I going to mount that? Probably just with a couple of squares for right now. Because those go down into another cargo container, which also needs to hang lower. We'll put down a couple of blocks so we can make our cargo container hang low. Right there is where it needs to go. Put a sensor on it. Sensors used to be under programmable blocks or something. And just put you here. Sensor is facing that way. Then we'll worry about piping these things later. We'll just get you connected for now. Goes there, and a couple of hydrogen tanks. We want those event controllers first. I know I put them in. There you go. Are you that way? Your screen is over there. Sure, you go there. Then our tanks. Oh, that's right. I've got new tanks. Let's look at that real fast. This is large grid. I haven't really looked at these. These are cool. And they have different ports on things. They also look kind of industrial, which is something that I want to do. And there's the lab oxygen tank. I was trying to build round, more industrial looking things on the airstrip that I did. But it's just a lot of PCU for housing this. But it is what it is. I think it looks pretty cool. Now we're looking at the small grid stuff. So that tank, I think, looks a little bit better than our standard small grid hydrogen tank. Although this is pretty cool too. It just looks like it's beefier. It looks like it's got the same connection ports too, so it's good. Tiny oxygen tank, because we really don't need a whole lot in the way of oxygen. But I need to build more, especially using new bits. Tank. Ooh, you guys can't be offset, can you? Can't be. This tank can't go there. It has to go... Something else has to go in here. Put you guys in first. And stop making it big. Pipes forward. I don't even know what these two pieces are. Looks like a remote control. Something else. Remote. No, I took you off my bar. Put you back in. Rotate this way. That's a remote control. We'll take a look at the other one here in just a minute. That may even be more oxygen, or more hydrogen. I think those are more hydrogen. So you got... Oh, you've got little spacers in there. These gotta go. Yep, those have to go. So we'll pull out our event controllers and reposition, because there's a little bit of space in there. You go here, and then we get more hydrogen tanks. Facing this way this time. Yes. Now we can get rid of you with everything not falling apart. Let's zoom in. 2x1 tips. Oh, and that's got to be another event controller in the back. 2x1 tips here, so we have 7s. 2x1 slope tips. That's what you are. And what about you? Yep, that's what you are in the back. Right there. And then you guys are number 8. That one. Alright, that's pretty cool. You are a little warning panel. Here and here. And then we've got 2x1. Looks like all the way around. Which is also cool. And this kind of gives us the bed of our truck. That piece, yes. It does have a bit of an overhang there. Great, that can come all the way back. And then same thing here, it's got to be. And then go here. That's fine. That should fit. Yes. And there was a space there, which is fine. And then this is... You know, it's probably got an overhang. If we go back to 7, where was our panel? Right there. I'll bet this is what happened right here. As this is these little triangular pieces and this little half slab. This has been used around a couple of times. I was just filling in the space between a couple set of wheels. And I'll bet that's exactly what they did there. At least I can see from this reference picture. Still don't know what exactly is holding on to this cargo container going through. And I would venture a guess that it is probably piped. It should be. It has to be. No, duh, it is. Of course it is. Because otherwise, how you get things from the drills over? Duh. Okay. We'll connect you up so we don't lose anything. Drop. And we did make a T. Right there. Two 9 ports. So you got to come down. Not the curve yet. I want straight. Straight tubes, please. And they've got them facing forward. I'll face that forward and turn off my mirror. Down. And elbow. Curve. There. Now you're piped. And that should connect the cab to the rest. There we go. I'll leave that brace down there. Let's find another reference picture for us. There's a timer block on that chassis in the forward bit somewhere. I can't really see it too well. And this may not be what I think it is either. These guys. Yeah, this is another cheeky trick. Well, at least you aren't load bearing. Fly, and that goes not the center, but you are the connecting piece here, and then you go to the number 7 here. You guys are the load bearing pieces. That's another little slip that they did in there, and then that looks like it's actually another panel coming across to hide this rotor, which actually means this rotor needs to go forward. I really don't want to do that. I'll build the bed, because worst case scenario I can just cut some of the cabin off, push everything forward. But it looks like there's another panel that's angled forward coming through here. And looking at this angle of the arm, this kind of looks correct, but this is wrong. This is coming forward, and then this is a weird geometry piece right here. And it's a weird transition block. We can get rid of both of those. You look like you're a triangle coming forward. I can put in you, which makes this awkward. Probably another demo for another transition piece. Let's do... Actually, we'd go classic. Probably overthinking things. Right, inverted square corners. We want that. And we have a triangle there. No, I thought it scooted up though. It does. On the outside, we've got a triangular piece, and then on the inside, it's pointed down. What is that? That has to be this. Gotta be. But I think this whole arm is too far forward. And that's why we're crushed for space in here. Yeah. I don't want to mess with the arms at the moment. I do see this looking good, because this comes back here. That's got to be my 2x1s. Or does it? Got to be, because that's the overhang. It has to slip through here. But this is a fuel tank. No? Yes. Yes, no. Because this looks like it should be a half block out further, so that this slope can come through to be the chassis. This looks like it needs to come out which means that this bed is incorrect in this reference photo here. Yeah, because that's exactly what that is. Okay, let's move this over and I'll show this as well. You can come over. So this picture is a little easier to see that this is in fact a half slab on the outside of everything. And that this is that inside layer right there. If we go back to here, that's a half slab. This is what I'm trying to build right now. But from what I've got, this isn't far enough out. So that has to all push out that half bit. And I was looking at this from here. To me, that looks like the 2x1 bases. But it is not. These are verticals. That's another little corner piece. So I will push these things out just a little bit, or that chassis goes in. But that is what these pieces are. Let's scooch this over. And this is all got to go. Or at least, yeah. That's gotta go. That's gotta go. Yeah, because those are all half slabs, which means this is correct the way it is here. This, and then this, and that probably goes to square. That's what I'm going to put there. These are half slabs. Go away. And we're on a mirror here, so these guys can all go. And you, and you. And then we can see that those were all number 7 half slabs all the way through. Doot doot. Number 7 half slab. And you get to be the corner. Now I have that little angled bit done. Let's go back and see if I can get that wheel. Are you 2 or 3? They almost look like they're... They have to be 3s. They have to be. And you have to be the base for it. So we're wheels. Do I have wheels? I do have wheels. You say you're left. So we can make mirror mode work for us by going to the left. And then putting these in the right place. And the wishbone, like that. So that fat piece goes down. That should be you. Unless you have to go in more. And it looks like you should. I'm going to cut that. And then we have to find a way in. One more. There we go. That gives us some more narrow wheelbase. It gets that a little closer. And we'll have a space. Something yellow is in there. Oh, it could be our cargo container. That is yellow, not another connector. That is the visual bit of yellow that we see. And then we'll need to come forward and put some more wheels, but I don't have a good sight line on that. That's a hydrogen engine back there. That would make sense on why we have the hydrogen tanks as well. As I also haven't found a battery on this, but I can easily make any cube in here a battery. Should be under 7 reactors. At least it used to be. Everything's moved. You have battery. You do not. Let's go. Hydrogen engine. I think the Prototech engine is also hydrogen now. The new one that they made. That's kind of cool. The most efficient hydrogen engine. This looks like it should go here. Which is really, really low. That does not look right. It does, but it doesn't. That's dragging on the ground. And this is way higher off. Yeah, this has to get pushed up somehow, but you also occupy the same space as this hydrogen tank above you. Why? How? That is what you are. That's definitely not in the right position. Unless it's just rolled over. Because this looks like those are angled correctly. I bet it's got to be rolled over then. Because there's no way it would fit correctly otherwise. You can sit here and then you're centered to stick that. Yeah, because you can't go any further forward. You get a small connector. You're horizontal here. This has to connect through, piping wise. Looks like we can put a T in. Armored T, more than likely. Armored T. Oop. And I bet a battery right there would be just fine. Because it's going to need a battery. I'll put that. Actually, no, because they like lights on the outside, so do I. There we go. That way you can see the battery. And now that hangs better. It still looks like the picture. And that'll be, yeah, that is right. The thing that was throwing me off was this little circular detail. And then this blocking off like literally half the visibility of the rest of the engine. So yes, this is correct. I'm confident in this now. And let's also take you. I bet you go here. How low is that? That looks kind of low. Because I want half slabs coming out for a bit of a bumper. I will bet you sit here, and then we go to half slabs, but we can mirror. You. There. And then this is what I want, but it needs to go to the other side, so I bet they did another cheeky bit. Flipping that around. And I want this angled half slab angle bit. You? No. Half panel, half panel, half panel, tip. So that looks probably a little too aggressive. That's just the slope. That's the 45, which too aggressive would be accurate. Put you back in there. By one base, way too aggressive, but if we flip you around and maybe try it on the other side so we don't have to worry about a mirror, that's probably accurate. No. Yes. There we go. That's probably right. And then we just got to grind out that center bit. But that is a rear bumper. That's pretty tasteful too. It covers up some of that other stuff. I think we got this look correct. We need to fix something with these arms and that chassis. That advanced rotor, does it go forward more? We need an overhead. It's possible that these arms are way too close as well, and that this design is bulked out, which would be required if we are going to move these rotors out one more, so we could wrap conveyor around to push them out. And that way we can get more design under here, a little more space. I would probably just cram everything together, but that makes everything blocky and claustrophobic and unable to be greebled. So if you make a little superfluous space, you can add some greebles in. Let's look for another reference here. This vehicle. This is hard to tell because that looks like the triangle piece coming in. It looks like these arms are right on top of that main body, just like I've got it. Let me scooch this over. Make that bigger. Won't have to drag it as much. Transition this guy back over. This looks like these arms are right on top of that main body, just like I've got. If I click here, it will go away. Yeah, just like I've got here. These look like they're pretty spot on. Pull that back up. Then we can move this and move. That looks pretty spot on. Come out. Move you here. 0 and tab. Yeah, that looks fairly accurate, but I should not be able to see this. Because this isn't high enough? Or does it not sit low enough? Because now that I move my arms up to be higher, it looks like this is exposed too much. Because this is clearly sloping down off of the body. But I know this is not the right piece. And this didn't look like, this looked like it was a 2x1 instead of the original slope that I had. These bits are hard to see. No, here we go. This is clearly a panel. This, because I recognize this shape here. So that's a panel. And then there's just something else over there. So they're showing off that panel. This does not come up and loop around. There's just not enough color to go with it. And that's it. That's got to be a 2x1. Where it's at there. Yeah, this is a 2x1. You can see it over here. So why do we come down and then we're supposed to immediately hit this? That means I had it right the first time. Had it right the first time. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Well, since I am going for an accurate replication, I will make these cuts. And really don't want to. Get rid of you easy. You also will go to make pasting things easier. That stays. What did I do? This was up here, is what it was. That comes off. This is an elbow. Forced tube. Curved tube. This curved tube, yes. Like that. That's how that went. And then this piece is gone. That'll make you fall. And then please let me copy and pasta that arm in. I don't want to build it again. Right at it, no. Please. You're not going to let me pasta get that in. Can I offer you some cheese, maybe? What if I... You're going up to go... No, you're just going forward. Punch that down. You come off. What if you also are gone. And you were also gone. And I copy from here. It just doesn't want to be that close because it's clipping in. No. Now I'm going to spend some time thinking on how do I not rebuild this again. And drop you here. What I want is something that's overly maneuverable, and I don't think I have anything like that sitting out here. I mean, I could get one of the Vipers. I don't think they have enough braking thrust. Not that Viper. This one. Not a Viper. All of you have AI. This is going to be good enough. We'll give you a landing gear on the nose, and I'm going to try to merge block these things in here because I don't want to rebuild the arms twice more. Landing gear. We can still be accurate to what we're doing. We're going to grab this one. Yeah, you need some braking thrust. I think it only has one braking thrust in it. Let's do... You are hydrogen. Actually, I don't even need hydrogen. You're gone. You're gone. Oh, the game did not like that. It did not like that. What I should do is just this. Now I have all the braking thrust to match my forward thrust. And of course I am grabbing it by the part that I need. Do this. Grab it. Okay. Let's take a look. Of course it's not in the right position again anyways. And then that's literally nothing. Okay. You win again, game. I will build. It's actually just the one forward to get to you, to get to here. You still don't like that either? Yeah, you do not. We are just too close with our bits to... And using the merge block to do what I was going to do in there is just a little too painstaking for what I care to do at the moment. I wasn't wanting to fit and grab, and looking at the bits that I did have to replace, it really wasn't going to be worth it. I could have just done this just about as fast. And that is precisely what I'm doing. At least trying to do just as fast. But that's what we're trying to do here. Get that little bit of build experience, so repetition, repetition, repetition. You know what, then this has to... No, you're the same one. Are you? Yes. You're also going to come back up here. It's this guy on top, which was different. It was you. You were the different one. You know what I haven't heard in a minute? Yeah, that ended quite a while ago. let's do this. I'm like, I haven't heard any of that high-pitched flutes or whatever it was. That highfalutin. I guess it would be highfalutin music at that point. Elbow. That panel is actually covering the rotor, and that's why you can never see the rotor. Maybe. Because these things hanging here. That's why you never see that rotor. That panel. Yeah, and you wouldn't see that in there because we see the back of the conveyor tube. Okay, that does work out. Now what do we have under here? Triangles, square, another triangle. I think I improvised something under here. And since I don't have any good pictures of it, these don't move at all. Oh, pausing that video. I do have a good picture. I have two good pictures. This is... panel is correct there. You get to be slope out. Slope makes awkwardness, but that's fine. And then I think you are also awkward. You're not this, are you? No. No. No, you're bulging outwards. Sure. Me too, right? Nice triangle, triangle, triangle. That is probably it. Which would make this also a triangle. Unless it's extra pieces. That's awkward, but I think that's what they've got. Yeah. And then wherever I was just looking, I could see this slope coming through in the video. Pause it again. Just the right place. Swoosh this over. Drag. Yes, transition that guy. Bam. So this is the back end of our truck. And then it looks like we've got a another beam coming through to make the body of it. So if I look here, if I just click off this way, we've got the body of our bed coming through, and then it's probably just more triangles coming through to end it. That's what I'm guessing is going on in here. Scooch you over so I can see while I build. Looks like there's one here, and then probably in the back. Let's put in some more wheels. We have a left wheel on our bar, so that's what we're gonna do. 1 by 1 wheel, for sure, not that one. I'm gonna go old school wheels. This is wheeled suspension left. Like so. And it's hard to tell. I can't see. Really see. It's got to go forward one more. Yeah. And that way we have space for everything else to breathe in there. I'll put... Ooh, what are you? Do I see a little bit of that? You square... Square... Tip. That looks about right. And then we can put our wheel in, because this wheel sits very far forward. That far forward? Maybe. Where does this end? Yes, it sits that far forward. And then we have some more wheels. We've got left 3 by 3. Wishbone down. You sit here. Are you in line? You are not? You are. Yeah, you're in line. Is that where you sit in the middle of the cab? I'm going to call it yes. And then this is also got to go here, because we're out of space. You literally can go nowhere else. And I think that's the base that we've got there. I can see a little bit of this design in ours, but really can't see all the way through. But we can put whatever else we need. It's like I put that little battery in the back. I can put a gyroscope or whatever else there. Also need to get rid of this beam. Do not want this beam. We are attached to various things in there, and I can just put little blocks in here for it. But I can put whatever else I need in here too. Timer blocks, more event controllers, whatever else. I think that's the body though. We'll just put this in here so we have something to work with. I think that's the arms. Got the ore detector. We'll set up everything once we get this put together, and then painted, of course. That's another key piece, is that gets painted. And we'll probably have to keep building on it too, to be honest. With the pieces the way they are. I don't know all of the things that Keen put in, and I may not even program it the same way that Keen does. Which means that my blocks are going to be different, and that's fine too. events. I'll probably need... Oh, actually, there's been some big changes because I don't need a ton of timers because these things have multiple pages now, too. Let's come... We'll move this over and we'll look for other details real fast. Yeah, you can clearly see straight through. Okay, I'm fine there. I don't see any other details jumping out at me here. This looks pretty good. What if we come back to the beginning? That's just a front bit. You can see straight through there. Timer block. So that center bit, there's a timer block in there. Like I said, instead of those armored cubes that we put in, we can put other electronics in. Timer block is one that they've got. And they probably have more in there as well. Forward. One more time. Here's seeing the clearly through the vehicle itself. A little timer block there. It's in the center because we also see it from here. Timer block. Probably another timer block. It's just rotated. So that's probably what they did, is a couple timer blocks in there. And then we'll do the same. And then that looks to be pretty well off. Let's do that. Timer blocks are where now? You know, I bet even this other piece that I wanted, where are you? Remote? Are you under timer blocks? What does timer block have? Event controllers, action relays. No remote control though. And you and you. One of you is clearly sideways. I'll put you like this and you like that. That way we can see straight through and see a timer block and a little doodad there. You need a beacon. That's what you need. Because otherwise we don't know how to get to you. Can you tell me how to get to here? No. Because I don't have a beacon. Which means the beacon has to go. These are both timer blocks. Actually, that's probably what this guy is. Where's my beacon? I do need a beacon to get to you. Are you? Beacons got their own thing again, didn't they? That's fine. Beacon. I don't need ore detector anymore. I will put... You can go here. Yeah, because you guys are attached there. That beacon. You can go there. That'll be fine. Don't really need that timer block, but I have you. And then I can replace these front pieces with whatever else I need. Don't have to worry about not going through, because there is the light of day through there. That's fine. This looks like it needs to be covered with something. Oh yeah, I had a little overhang there. 7.5 blocks. That, and I bet it actually had to be done this way because these wheels wouldn't have spawned. It looks like it's clipping through. So these wheels would not have spawned if this were not done in this order. Happy circumstances. Bam. Okay. That's looking pretty solid. I'm liking that. That's pretty solid. So unless we have something that's way outside the norm for functionality, then I think we're good. I think we're good there. I've got a dark gray. Let's start off with painting. We'll do painting next. Let's actually, it's been an hour and change. Let's take a quick break, and I'll be right back. Like 5 minutes or something like that. Flop over, and I will be right back with an intermission. I need to go back and revisit that world. I think this was the... No, I guess it's technically the second time-lapse build rig that I had made. The first one was a massive hangar that wasn't big enough. And I enclosed the entire thing, so there was no lighting. And the lights that I did have wasn't good enough. Plus, I didn't have the really cool transition of the day to night cycle and all the clouds moving. I really like that because it really sells that the day is passing, or days rather. Oh, I have the standard 2-hour day on there just because it's the vanilla world. It's the standard 2 hours a day, 2 hours a night. And I've been doing that for all of these builds. So if you like, oh, how long did it take to make this video of just the build? Like, well, that ship, maybe it's all 5 minutes that were into the video build itself, but you count a couple days, a couple of nights. That transition right there was a pause in the recording. We come back and revisit it. So even build something over a couple of days, actual days worth of time, but probably 6 hours or something like that to build, refine, put some interior, put some paint. Interiors usually come much later, if at all, which is something I'm bad at. Iterations on paint, iterations on little things take some time, but that's all about the learning process. You gotta accept and move on with it. I really like how that sky rotates through. And all the other droll traffic that I've got going on in there too. It makes it seem like it's a real spaceport or something. And then this goes back into the build. Or the fight of the build. Those are cool. Okay, anyways. We'll transition back in. The fights are cool. I like shooting up all the drones, but these things are overpowered for drones. I guess I need to start testing against some of the more difficult ships with the what are the Factorum guys. Test against those, because this is the drone test for the Lone Survivor, whatever it's called, and then it fights some other assert things, the Hammerhead and Thunderbird, a couple other guys. But enough about that. Let's get back to our ship build and our picture reference, and we're going to pull out gray paint, I think it is. Let's go gray. Let's go hazard rust. We don't want rust. Let's just do some battered dark gray. Is that what you look like? Womp. Whole thing can turn. That's fine. Do you look like battered gray? What if we do you guys too? No, not battered. What if it's nothing? Nothing. Definitely not the nothing. And did we get an armor skin? We got plastic. Is this the automatons? Not retro future because it's pretty flat. Maybe it can't be plastic. I'm gonna go back to battered. Clean. You could be clean. No, you're definitely not clean. You gotta be battered. For some of these shapes. Are you, though? I'm not seeing the detail that I want in the back here, which is what we're gonna go off of. So not you, you, none of you guys. You can't be dusty either. I don't think they're going to change the textures a whole lot. Definitely not weldless. You can't be sci-fi. Sci-fi is kind of shiny. Yeah. Or back to plastic. Maybe you are plastic. Get this drill out. Because there's some of this detail through here. And that's kind of plain, but it doesn't have these bolts everywhere. Definitely not weldless. I definitely do need some hazard in there, but not for what I'm looking at right now. Shouldn't be any of you guys either. None? No, it stands out too much. Let's see if I've got something in store that has Keen's default color. That's sci-fi for me. Missiles, missiles, missiles. What were you? Plastic or sci-fi? This can't be sci-fi. At least it doesn't look that way. That's battered. I think that one was a sci-fi. I guess what I can do is grab some of... Oh, what was the world? The world where they had... I mean, it's one of the starter worlds. So we got a mining ship and a little mining facility. But that's orange stuff. Red would be fine. But I need a modern that they have. They should have a little fighter. Let's go browse the workshop. Ship. Let's do... Sure. Why? Let's find you on Steam, Keen. Because you're not Keen, you're Keen Software House. I think that's what you have. Oh, look, somebody did do this already. Your colors are different. We'll check you out here in a minute. Because if we're really close, then we'll put that in that Reddit post too that I've got open. Somebody else already did what I'm doing. And really what I want is a red. I guess I just want whatever this is. This is clean. Or nothing. What is your current... You've got a red ship that came out recently, Keen. Where are you? Oh, definitely not that. I think we're going back too far. No. There was a cool little... not most voted. You can, like, find it by user, but everyone uses the same names. That's pretty cool. We'll come back and look at you too. We'll just get close enough with the paint. How about that? How about we're just gonna get close enough with everything? That way we're not wasting time with paints. At least not wasting too much time with paints. Dark gray. Can I match some of these shapes and things? I'm gonna zoom in on that. This is nothing. Let's do nothing. Nothing. Nothing looks too battered. Do clean. Clean is not right. We wanted you. Can I get that overhead? Overhead shot, please. And I cannot see. These zigzags exist in a lot of things. Because you are not this paint. It makes me want to think that you're that paint. You are not sci-fi. Definitely not. Hate that piping looking thing. You're not these guys because you look too fake. Not going to be retro future because retro future is way too shiny for our construction. Definitely not dusty. Not concrete. Clean is too clean, but you've got the little triangle things that we are looking for. So, it's not clean. Definitely not carbon fiber. But not that. It's clean or nothing. And we do have some dings and stuff. So let's go with nothing and bright red? Nothing and bright red. Oh, I guess I need to 6 and I want gray for you too. So you are also nothing. Because we have subgrids, we gotta play around a little bit there. Is that the right dark gray? I'm gonna say yes because this should be the least concerning thing right now. Need some caution plates on the outside. I can put those back in. Red. That looks okay. I think this is a little too battered. It's definitely not battered. So it's got to be clean. I'm gonna make it fresh off the assembly line, I guess. Unless this dusty is very lightly dusty. It's retro future. That's rust. That dust is too heavy of a dust. You're not concrete either. Nope. Clean looks too clean for you. You get nothing. Just enough battering. for an industrial vehicle. That's a stripe. You get this. Oh, I bet that's why this piece is missing, so it can articulate down. That does reinforce that the original design did have a rotor in there. I was wrong the second time? Yeah, the second time. The first, no, I was wrong the first time. The first time I think I said that there was nothing that could be in there. And there clearly is. So these are red pieces. You get a 6-1 and caution panel. That one. Nope. Almost there. Yep. And of course I go to paint it and it's going to be wrong stripes. You have one up top? You did not. But we do need same panel there, and then we can paint you. I love that they have the paint gun as part of the normal tools in Space Engineers too. Oops, wrong. I want to go to nothing. Nope. Yeah, the paint tool. This is such a good tool. Such a good tool. I love it. Something is caution in here? Can't be. You can't be caution because you don't color. Odd. Let's go white, white, white. Little details like this, or really anything, are very nice to make things just pop. I think our truck is a little dark. Oh well. I'm going to leave it as is. Go back to you. Let's look at other pictures for our truck. Just those little bits. Yeah, oops. Come back here. Yeah. Just these little bits. And that kind of brings everything together. I mean, you got this is one of the styles I wanted to kind of learn too, is you've got your interior pieces, which are darker, and then you've got like armor cladding on the outside for your color bits that really bring everything together and make it pop. Oh, this was red too. Red, I could see from the front, red, and we'll probably just make this red all the way through, even though it probably shouldn't be. But we'll leave it as is. And that is our reds. Go to white here. That looks good. Nothing on that side. I think the interior of this was pretty Spartan too. Yep. And I don't see a whole lot of other colorations, although this does look more dusty. The drill bits and stuff. Which also makes sense. What if we did gray and... what if we made you dusty? Which means we should just probably just start it with dusty. Dust. Yep, that is what it is. We'll grab that dust. For all these things that look like they're black, we're just going to make them dust instead. And like I was saying, it's probably easier or more accurate if we just painted everything the dust color. Make that chassis. Wheels gotta be... oh, the wheels look like they're actually kind of clean. I'm gonna make mine dusty. Cabin's dusty. Up here, you're dusty. All of my interior bits really should just hit the whole thing with a side of dust. That probably would have been the smarter thing. Live and learn. paint your entire core. As I was saying, I wanted to learn a style of painting and building where you've got a singular color interior, dust in this case, which I'm not doing smartly. I could have just painted the whole thing dust. And then color code the little bits that stand out here and there. That looks good. And you know what, these little cheeky pieces? You are a little square. You are a little square here. That is red and caution. Where's caution? Caution to the... Thought I was looking at it right there. There you are, Hazard. Ooh, red. That's how you got those red stripes in. Found you. Everything else is just naked red. It's got beaten up a little bit. This back piece, do want this little grinder. There you go, and you were also dusty. There we go. Dusty bits. Go back to our photos. Photos, red piece coming up the front. Everything else is dusty. And we're going to do the same. Damn it. You know, I'm sitting here trying to make things easier on myself, making it more difficult, and then I'm about to make it even more, even more difficult because I can't control P everything for this because I already did it over there. But thankfully, we'll color these guys here. I really don't want to change that battery around. Okay. Yeah, that'll keep you. That'll keep you in place. You can sit right here. That'll connect you around so I don't lose any of those parts. Buy battery. And you go here. Flip that. Battery. Then I can pull this wing out. And I can pull... I'll probably leave that one, actually. And I'll just go ham on the dust, because that's what most things are. Bits of red here and there. But I only need to get half of it, because I've got the mirror mode on. And then I'm going to repaint some of this other stuff here. So that's my dust. Ooh, do I see gyroscope right there? This looks like it... That can't be right. This has to be a pit so that they can go up and over. I'm leaving my gyroscope where it's at because I can't change this. What I can do is go back to red and nothing. And we'll paint. That's going to stay dust. But this coming forward does not. And then once red, we get red here. Oh, need to add that little number 7 flat tip. You come back. That's the front. Yeah, front is fine. These guys are fine. Looking good. And then these are white pieces. Scroll over to white. White up top too. Very simple paint job. Kind of brings out everything. You are white, and you are grounded. Just a little bit. just like that. Because there's not a lot of durability in there. That's about it for all the blocks and stuff in there. That's flat, it'll land. Yeah. And then I'll have to put like a little control seat on there so I can fly it and land it for the first initial couple of times. Let's call this real fast, trucking stuff. And we'll copy and paste it. We'll call it where we're learning. We'll call it learn to build. Learn to build AI miner. There we go. That should be learn to build Keen's AI miner. How about that? Because now we get extra boring as we figure out what is and is not the various parts for all of this. I think we're good on colors. I think we've got all of the content for the things. Name the grids. Now let's say all that. We want darker gray. We want dust. Before I blueprint it and start doing stuff. Okay. As I was saying, actually, I wonder if those are white and dusty, because they do have some pop to them. White and dusty. I'll go with that. You already pop? Yeah. You now you do. You're actually dark. What if I made it black and dusty for this wheel? How about just made it extra dark? Nothing. Probably too dark. There we go. Why aren't you... Oh, because wheels are subgrids. Silly. There is some, not dust, in the middle. Again, while I should have just painted the whole thing in a paint all, as opposed to having to come back and tap these hard to reach spaces. The game's lagging kind of hard right now too. I don't know what's going on. Just drop frames. I am asking a lot of the computer rendering the world for multiple participants and streaming and recording, but it's holding up pretty well. Okay, now I think I got it. And I gotta sneeze. Okay. Now I can, there we go. And with these pieces, we can start programming. We'll take you over here. And actually, I'll have to leave it as is. No, I don't want to leave it as is because I need the individual pieces. So I'll leave you guys as is, and then I have to paste another one here. And then cut these pieces out. And then you can get cut out. And then you go away. We have these individual pieces. And I don't want... That is safe. You need to move. That can move. And then you need a flight seat. I don't think it has an AI on it. Let's put anything that'll stick, really. Give me this standing there. This'll work. Because I gotta program it. You can move over here and you've got a gyro. Okay. That's out of the way. My garbage can just go down here. I don't do this. Trash. Trash rotors, trash pistons. Trash timer should just start on its own. Trash a go-go. Right? This is why I built this entire facility. Because I wanted this one thing to happen. Oh, my pistons and drills and stuff. It's probably because there's too much garbage going on. That's supposed to be like a sarlacc mouth of things. And something got stuck over here. So all of these are supposed to be on and spinning with more lights. I bet the world broke. We want to do it again. Because it didn't rotate through all of them. So they should all go down, and then they'll all spin out again. Because they shouldn't be hitting each other. They're supposed to make this spin nice and clean. So there's got to be small grade garbage back behind one of the plates somewhere. Oh no, you're just missing it altogether. You need inertial tensors or something? What's going on, guys? You were fine forever. Trash hinges. Can I see all my trash hinges? Do I not have inertia tensor in here? Is this not an experimental world? What is going on? Oh, was there was something that was in the update about every world being experimental now, right? That means it broke all my stuff. So let's do trash pistons will go down. So now that they can all settle. And then trash pistons can just go up. It doesn't look like that block likes it. Okay, so if that's true, then... Oh, I need to go revisit those patch notes or something. If every world is experimental, that means the public servers are experimental. That means clang weapons and clang all sorts of stuff is standard fare now. That's really, really dangerous. For, like, everyone. The conventional weapons won't do anything. Ooh. I'm gonna go read those patch notes a little more closely. So you guys, you're not settling. Just get there. We want to be there. Is there something I'm missing? You should be lined up nice and cleanly, but you're still... The rotors aren't happy. The rotors need a tensor. Something on them. Because I don't want my floor to be all messed up. I use it once. Because there is no... Yeah, I don't have an experimental mode high on there, so they had to have gotten rid of it. Or they turned it into just a click game setting. That's probably what it was. So I'd have to offload the world and then re-add it back in there. They turned it into a checkbox. Maybe that's what they did. It's a checkbox now, as opposed to a configurable setting. Which means I need to go back into my worlds and fix those. This one piston. And I don't have the mass of my character to smash into it to make it work. And I got rid of... I don't think I can smash anything into this that'll make it work. You try to rotate the hinges real fast. Trash. Trash hinges. Because you are just barely stuck under here. I can't delete that one block. That's the one block that's holding everything up there. What are you, hinges? Your rotors. I don't know why I keep saying hinges. Did it fix? It did not. It should just be pistons down. Rotate cleanly, but you're hitting stuff now. Because I don't have experimental mode or excessive force. Ah, I've ruined my floor. And then it actually needs to settle. Damn. Because it doesn't have the excessive force to keep everything straight or aligned. This literally has to be perfectly stable. Locking it won't do anything either. Because it'll lock wherever it's at. And you just have that much jiggle with you. Okay. Looks like that other one's a little slow. Okay. Patience then. Patience got it. Don't delete anything. Don't do it again. That's the model. Don't do it again. Oh, also, it seemed to be messing with my time-lapse rig. Pushing stuff out of the way. I hope that wasn't messing with stuff too much. You can go here. And you can go here. Parking brake. Get you guys back in the center, even though there's not going to be a lot of movement out of it. Here for a bit. Okay. So let's do some labeling of some parts. Otherwise we don't know what we're looking at. This is, oh, what are we gonna call you? Yes, call it that. LKM. And we will call you LKM. We go look at my pieces. Copy you, beacon, because we need you, beacon. And I want LKM. Which side is which? You are going to be LKM. Just so I name all my subgrids too. This is the most exciting part. Labeling and making things work. This is my cargo container. I'm actually going to call you CC. Cargo container. Because I don't want to type in cargo container every time. Or small connector. But you can be rear connector. You are going to be the top connector. For docking. It's important I know what you are too. And then it can mess with wheels. I have left and right wheels appropriately in there. We can give ourselves probably a little less power, a little more strength. We don't want you to squat. You're fine there. But we don't know which ones are what. If we do, they're all paired. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 2. I don't think they're, yeah, because these are small guys. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. So you guys won't steer at all. Actually, I'm just going to turn you off. And no steering. And no propulsion. And no braking. And no braking. Okay, that one's easy. You guys... If I just... Oh, I've got... That works much easier. Because I'm in creative mode. I can see exactly what that is. Left, this is rear. So I do want some steering on there. Left, that's the front. Do want steering on there. Left, middle, no steering. You are the rear. You're the front. Then you're at the middle. No steering for you. That way we should get pretty decent turn out of it. And we don't have to worry about that middle wheel doing too much. Okay. Want rotors. We're at 0 right now. We want... Whatever this torque is, we'll punch you up there. We're at unlimited. I don't want unlimited. I do want 0 right now, so we could probably do like a minus 10 and an upper, we'll say 50. One speed, go! That's low enough, I think. That's also the right side. Rotor. One that I did things to? Yes. You are my right. L. M. Right rotor. I don't care that you're advanced. Because now I can change you both. That should be good. Low velocity to nope. Upper 50. This one did not have a velocity. Your velocity needs to reverse. That changed both of them? It did. You reverse. And I'll bet the other one is... It should be both 0 to 90. Current angle 0. Why? Reverse that. LE. You go up. You go up. Yeah, that's upside down. So you actually need to go minus 45 is what I will give you. Or minus 50. Minus 50, and then you go to plus 15. Now you have that, and you guys are synced. Let's reverse. Back down. On the same page. Too easy. ROT. Joe rotors. So now the right one is acting up. What is your problem? You are at 15. Left. 0. Why are you at 0? Because something's stopping you. Oh, what would that be? It would have to be that block because this one's not got it. Ah, that's why your arms don't articulate, because of this. Because you can't articulate down, but I can. I will leave my articulation, but that does go up. Or do we want to be true to form? Let's just be true to form. Okay. Rotors, reverse. If you go up, I can place that block again, because it's not in the way here. What if I just did this? Would that work? I'm going to improvise. It's an executive decision. I'm going to improvise and improve upon what I can. Because I'll put lights on here. And because this is the future from whenever that one was made, I also have more capability for the different pages of the blocks. So that'll work. I like that. Since I am speaking of lights, I should put... Oh! You know what? I did have a thing that can move stuff. The stupid forklift that took me forever to get, but you work. I vaguely remember you now, my nemesis. What was I doing? You had to turn this on. Did I go to remote controls to move things? I know I needed the fans on to do stuff. And what did I say? P, and then I went here. That's the reverse camera. How did I... Everything was doable here. Oh, okay, spacebar, because I've got fans that do up. C should be down, so you can see one fan up, one fan down. You can barely see those moving, but that's all that goes. And then, did I have some tilts in it? Thought I had tilts. I guess not. That's what it was. Choo-choo. Oh, it's not sealed. Okay. Yeah, because then I could drive around and I can even put my fans on and raise and lower my forks. Fans up, park, go. Back to my other distraction. You. So you will move. You have a beacon. I need your drills to go... I can set to 0 now. I like to have a mining page on you, because it's another improvement. I can set these to different things. I do want... usually do like a 3, 2, 1 from here. So let's do tanks. We're gonna mash all these tanks together. LKM. Tanks, actually, just do all the tanks. I don't care that they're hydrogen or not. Save them. That way they can stockpile and not. And then we go G. Use U. People are afraid of the handbrake for some reason. Connector, I don't want the top one, I want this one. Switch lock. And my tanks. Groups, tanks, U. And we will stockpile on off. I will use P because I can park, and I can just make this not used for parking. Same thing with the other one. So you just go connectors, connector, connector, and click a single button. Not for parking. So now I can use P all I want. This top one should probably also have no strength. And that way I don't have to worry about it doing anything. My remote control's going forward. I should probably... Do I have space here in the back? I do. Because I can put another remote control literally anywhere, and then a camera back here, and that makes backing up a lot easier. I can even put it on that event controller, if I even need that event controller. But that's just like I've got over here. There's the remote control and a camera, and that makes backing up way easier. So I can hop in here, and that's what I did a minute ago. I just pressed 6 twice, and now I can drive forwards, backwards, or backwards, forwards, whichever need be, which makes parking a lot easier. And then you can just hop out of the vehicle. Way easier. Way, way easier. Okay. Back to the matter at hand. You. So I guess when this cargo container, do you have to have? No. No, you can't. There's only one. There's not enough space for two. This has to force feed cargo into that cargo container. It only has the one container, so this will have to continuously force feed. That means I need 2 more sorters in here, or maybe 1 sorter? Okay, so the thought process is the drills will fill, and they will push to the nearest inventory. The nearest inventory is going to be that cockpit. That's going to be the nearest inventory. So it's going to fill the cockpit first. Doesn't matter. Then it'll start to fill that cargo container. And then from that cargo container, it doesn't matter, because the ship that's attached will never receive a load until that cargo container is filled, until that cockpit is filled, until that connector is filled. Because those are the nearest inventories. And then it'll start to fill the flying return ship's inventory, connector, and that cargo container. So that ship, where are we at here? That ship, we don't have space in there. There's not enough space. I mean, there's only one. In the video, there's only one connector for, I mean, they can only have the one, because all it has to do is push. And that's what it needs to do, is push into here first, so it doesn't fill itself up. And then this vehicle can go up and down, so it would need 2 release. Let's look. Video. So we're set here. You know what we need to do? We'll just make sure we even sit on here appropriately first. Let's have a small achievement. And I need... Oof. You are going to be... Learning to build, keen, flying miner. Learn to build, keen, software house. Okay. That doesn't matter. This does. Okay, FM is your name. CC. Got you. Because I also care about your connector. That's the bigger thing I care about. Your connector and your sorter. I don't care that it's small. And you guys can just be whatever for right now, because I'll have to label you better later. Same thing with all this. Really what I wanted was thrusters. I can turn you all on and off. And that mag plate too. Or, yeah, it's a mag plate. The landing gear, the mag plate. That can stay. Auto locking used for parking. No. No park. And same thing with that connector. We're not going to park it either. What I do want is... G. Do want you... and my thrusters on off. So I'll need to turn... I'll turn the AI on off later. There's no damage in this world, so we're good as far as this docking goes. And my cockpit's probably a little too close. Auto lock needs to go off. No auto lock either, thank you. But we do need to release it. P. Use for parking, please. There we go. So this is sitting all the way up front right now. And it can't. You have to sit back here. You have to sit right there. That mag plate is sitting where that thruster, or where that connector needs to be. Oh, is that an incongruity? Is that an incongruity in the designs, or did I just do a poor job replicating? Because that looks like it's in the right place. I've duplicated this as best I can. We've got a similar scale, similar look. I don't have extra pieces anywhere. I think that's... what else is in there? I can make that a T. Yeah. So this, I think, is a me thing. This mag plate doesn't have to be a mag plate. I mean, it probably is, but it doesn't have to be. Let's do this. We'll get rid of you. You are gone. You're another one of my controllers. You come here. You're gone. And you guys can be gray dust, but you don't really matter. This is going to be a T. Because that's a sorter to shoot out. You're not going to have a sorter to take in, but you will have two connectors. A inbound connector. You're not going to be used for parking. And the other one is the outbound connector. No. Bound connector. Because that sorter will only allow things to go through it in one direction. And I need in and out. And for you, this must be attached to a sorter. And I don't think you are. I don't think you're attached to a sorter. Because the only way the other one's going to eject is if it had cargo going into it. So it has to pull to shoot out. You have to pull to put in. You're what? Your tube junction. Because you go through. But you can't. You can't go in. Because that's T. Well, that might be a design flaw there. And I can't fix that with this super compact design. Because it's too tight. And I can't feed into this because I'm at this level. A sorter would have to go down here, which would mean I'd have to have an elbow beneath it. Let's I would have to have an elbow beneath it, and that would still push me out too far. I would have to split the rear and push out the back chassis a bit. Which is fine, it's doable. But that's not what they did. And it ruins the look a bit. So that might just be what I have to do to get it to work. Because otherwise I can't push cargo in. Because the thought of this is to be out mining, and then you have the cargo drone. It's getting the priority ore shipment, so as soon as it's full, it's gone. And while it's gone, you still have a cargo container to continue to fill yourself. And ideally, with it coming back and landing, then it gets all of the ore and runs off again. That's why you have an equal size cargo container. But I can't push to... I cannot push to this. Yeah, I have to split you, sorry. So this can be the cargo container, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But this has to... Yeah. Okay, it's got to go down and up. Because I want the connector to sit at this level. That's too flush. It can't sit here. But I still need to connect to the back too, and I can't do that either. Not easily. Alright, let's go down, down. Oh, was I using the wrong ones? This is the tube. Down, down. T. Sorter. Connector. And then back up. Elbow. Elbow to push all the way through. Because I have to add extra blocks to make that fit the rest of this. Because that breaks. That breaks this and... Oh, let me get in there. Can I get rid of you? Yes. Just gotta be careful about what I cut. Because my floor is a grid. Oh, that'd be cool if I could make a grid permanent and undeletable. That would be neat. Because that's the back. I will only be able to sit this one closer. Let me take you. And that should sit there. So now I've expanded that chassis. Okay. And I've got a little bit of space in here, which is also fine. Which means I can change up this interior just a bit. I don't like having all that free space, but what I can do is riff off of what you had before. And since we've got space, our arms are fine too. We will mirror mode again. Okay. And you can... Yeah, put you here. Meets here. What was down here? Nothing. We can come down here. Do we want... We want a higher chassis than that. You and you should be fine. And that way you can have this. You can shift P and Make that square like the original was. So I can work around that. And let's come in here and work around. I may not even need anything else in there. I'm just going to fill in the space so I don't have ugly looking stuff. And then I can edge these corners around. If I could rotate the right way, there you go. That makes that space look a little more intentional. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what was I saying? I wanted... What are you? No, not you. Not you. Not you. Not you. You. Like literally any of these armored blocks in here. I will take... Kind of wanted this one to be it. Because it was more covered up than anything. And I can still cover it. But I wanted something to be parallel with it. I'll just put another remote control in the chassis. I do want a camera. I think I took the camera off of here. We're just going to put a camera in here for backing up. You're going to go right there. You don't want to go right there. Okay. Okay. You're not going to let me do that. That's fine. We're going to put our remote control there then. What do you say about that? A forward remote, a backwards remote, and this. Because I probably have enough event controllers. We're deviating from our design anyways, so we're going to do us. And while I'm at it, I might as well put in some cool guy lights. Where's all my cool guy lights? Not all of you are on the same page. Do I have another page of more lights? Let me look at you first. What do you have? Because we have all sorts of lights that we can update this with now. Floodlights for the front, probably. Ooh, even diagonal floods? Don't want floods down. Floods in the corner up here would be pretty cool. Because you just look out everywhere. Or even on the arms. Yeah. Back here. Because that would blast everything. You could set it here and look forward, or you here and out. Well, this is supposed to be the left. So what if we... I'm going to do that. Left and right. You can sit here and flood out. I can put little lights up front. Which won't do much, but we will have tons of light. I kind of want braking lights here. Oh, but these are half, that's why. These are half panels. I can't do that there. I need my other lights. Let's do... light this guy. Put you... I don't need a gyroscope at the moment. Yeah, you won't go there at all, but you will, but this is a half block around. It's a half block. What if we... panel... You're not going to sit there. You could, so you will. That's what'll have to go there. Am I mirrored? I am. Mirror that, so you have lights there. I also want some other lights, so why not interior light pieces? We could shine around the body. And I've got these on the arms. What if I put big honkin' forward guys on there? Oh, there was supposed to be something else that went there. Another one of these guys is supposed to go in here. And I can't really tell what it is. It's a no. It's got to be a transition piece. Whatever it is that goes here. Here are the 2x1 side. Let's go over here. Is that it? Kind of fits. They're also supposed to be red. That fits enough. I'm going to go for it. Red and nothing. Kind of works. Kind of takes away from the lighting. Kind of gives me some light here too. Oh, I cut my sensor off. I'm like, wasn't there something over here? Nothing important, just a sensor. I don't even know what that sensor's going to do. Don't even really need a sensor, I don't think. They're going to turn off the AI for the vehicle when the drone is nearby. Who knows? Back into here. What was that? That was my connector? Yeah. I have a new connector now. The rear, and this is the top one. Switch lock. Connector, small connector, have timeout never. Don't use it for parking. Have no strength. Not connector. Beacon, you have that. 20K is a little much. How about half? One of you goes forward. And the other one goes backwards. And that camera. That's a reversing camera. Cool. So with that, remote control for, I don't know why there's a forward one. Reverse is what I want. I'll put you here. So I can control, and then again, camera, view, and then I want tanks, stockpile on, off, connector, my rear connector, switch lock, and that handbrake from the industrial cockpit. Handbrake on, off. Okay, so that's one. I want to go 2 for mining mode. What if we just we swing it between the, I guess it doesn't matter what limits I have then. We can swing it between, no, I can't do that. I have to swing it between the limits, so I'd have to reverse and then set. I can do that. I can do that. Let's do drills. Drills. LKM. Drills, because we couldn't do this before. Oh, this is also a new thing. Not affect the manual control, because we should have our left. Let's get our block tool over here. On, off, and tools. So we have right click, left click, which is probably that terrain one, but now it's a toggle, which makes it easier because otherwise you would have had to have right click terrain move and then hop out. And that would usually glitch it so that these keep going. Now you can just terrain clear at will. That's good. That's mining mode. We want some commands for our rotors. Command modes for our rotors here. Let's do... I'm gonna go like up, down, and set to 0 something. I think that's what we want. So we don't even want this. G. Rotors. Sorry. Groups, rotors. Let's do this. Set your group, right? This is new. I don't want to set any of these other things. I just want to set angle to velocity, lower limit, upper limit, placement. I mean, I should be able just to tell it to go to angle whatever, right? Can I not just go to angle? Let's come over you first. Maybe I'll see it. Well, I guess that's reverse, right? Reverse so it goes up and down. But I want you to be set to 0. Oh, there we go. Rotate to angle is what it's called. 0, perfect. 0. Yeah, automatically go to wherever I tell you to. 0 auto confirm. Cool. So now I can go up. It reaches pretty high, which is awesome. Down. And I'll go up just for the lulz. So I can rotate between those two, and then I can just go 3, which should be just go to angle. Go. G, go to angle. Both of you. It's called rotate. That's why I couldn't do it. Rotate to angle, set to angle 0. Because both of you have 0. Set velocity 2. Okay. Auto direction, sure. 0 auto go. There. It probably didn't like that 60 RPMs. So now you're there. What if I reverse, reverse? So now you're... Need to go lower. Well. Did you mess up my angles? Because it looks like you did. Because maybe I need rotate to angle this, rotate to angle that, and rotor angles don't matter anymore? Let's take a look at you. Yeah, you went to unlimited on the upper, which is not what I told you to do. And 0, so that's why you won't go any lower. And then same thing for my other rotor. And you're just the opposite because you're spinning the opposite way. So that is not good. The set to 0 change the, or rotate to change the upper limit. and I can't tell them to go to the same place. I can tell them to go up. I can go 0. I'll leave it at that. Up and 0 is going to have to be good enough. It's going to have to be good enough. And I probably want maximum. These tiny wheels probably need maximum strength. Maximum height offset. They're going to be a protective item. My lights, especially you guys, big bloom. You can be intense. Everything else around here still need a little more light. You can be slightly yellow. And actually, who's the corner? Yes, I love having... You're going to be red. Or, I can't see. Come on. This way. I love being able to see what I'm clicking on with this build vision. You. You're a rear light. Rear. You're also a rear light. You'll also have that 10-meter spread. Just to have a little something different. White everywhere else, and then rear in that. Ooh, we don't have enough power. My engine's not on? Because this is going to have to be on like all the time. That's interesting. Oh. And you toppled really fast. Oh, I don't have a gyro. Really, really fast. Like, alarmingly fast. Can't put a block there. Nope. What if you can't be a gyroscope? I mean, you shouldn't be a gyroscope. No. I could put a gyroscope in the bed? What if I did? And I took it off the bar just a minute ago, too. Yeah. Although I do like that bed the way it is. You know what? Gyro goes right there. Go. That's still a lot of power consumption for you. And you shouldn't. You only have the one little battery. But you have a hydrogen engine and some tanks set to auto. So I will give you more than a backup battery. I can put a couple more batteries on you. Anything can be a battery. You're not happy about this. Give me just a second. I got you. You and shit. You. reconnected. I should probably do a little reinforcing through there. I mean, what's a... Oh, I don't ever use the graded panel. Let's do... And it's a small grid window. Graded window. Barred, isn't it? Barred window. Yeah. I never use this. Now's the time. Because that'll attach through and through and not take away from interesting things. Improve still. Cool. LKM gyroscope. Gonna override. The other way. There we go. Override 0. So what I should do is part of routine driving is the gyroscope and turn it override on and off. Gyro. Override on off. That way I can just turn it on and drive and it'll fight turns because I'm probably turning too fast, too much. So it'll fight the turn to an extent. Maybe both those front wheels need to move. Wheels. I'm pretty sure I named you guys. Alright, the first time. Not you all. You. Front, rear. You're the middle. Mid. Also a mid. What if I turn your steering back on? You just turn a little bit. No, you fight yourself. Mid steering turns back off. I'm fine with that. Turn my gyroscope off. See how much we light up stuff. I don't think my vehicles have been moving through. So this world is broke too. Zoom out a little bit. I've got some good lighting coverage here. The spotlights look like they're being blocked occasionally by the drills, which is what you want to see, but not what we normally see. I've got good coverage from the floods. Let's go to mining mode and raise them up. We got a lot of lights, which is awesome. Whoa, whoa, where are you guys going? No, that's not gonna work. I need... Because now you're broke again. I can't just set you to whatever. Because you guys are going way too far. You have no limit anymore. That's why you're trying to rotate all the way through. And I can't... I can't tell it to go to a specific angle because they're opposite each other, which would mean I need timer blocks that tell it to go up, down, and 0. So let's just put in timer blocks for up, down, and 0. Yeah? How many timer blocks do I have? 1. Say I need timer blocks for up, down, and 0, and I have some candidates in here, it looks like. Up, down, and 0. So I can put... I've got 1 already. You and V, a timer block. Turn. There you go. Up, down, and 0. Because that's mirrored, yeah. Camera, timer. We're going to go set, drill, up. Learn to build keen, minor, set, drill, up. Drill. Down. Set drill. 0. 0, 0. And then you will each have set up action as group. Rotors. Rotate to angle. Set angle to 0. Set velocity to 2. Auto 0. And that's all you do. And you will do group. What did I say? Ah! I can't do the group. I need to find out who is up and down, because then I reverse them. So let's go to rotor. Go to our left rotor. We are at 0 right now, and if we go up to 50 and reverse, so if I go up to 50 seems a bit extreme. Left will go up and down as normal. Okay, timer blocks. Let drill up. Set up action. Rotors. Left goes normal. Up will be set. Rotate to angle. Set angle 50. Speed 2. Auto 50 auto. And then right set rotate to angle. You will do minus 50. Speed 2. Auto. Yeah. So auto 0 won't work. We want groups, we want individual blocks, timers. Down, trigger now, up, trigger now. 0. Trigger now, and you remove. Now you both go to 0, and then I had done up. And then we want timer down, timer down. Left rotor, rotate to angle, minus, let's do minus 10. And then 2, and auto, and minus 10 auto, and then a right, rotate to angle, plus 10. 2 speeds, fine. Auto confirm, 10 auto. So now if I do all the way down, up, and then to 0, and then to down, and to 0. Perfect. And I also want all of my lights in a group. I can turn off all the light. Okay, could do this for mining mode. Up, down, and 0 for mining mode with my drills toggled on and off. I guess I can also... let's do... yeah, drills. What else do you guys do now? Not you. The group for drills does things. Automatic push-pull on-off, yes. Terrain clearing mode on-off. So that's what it is. Terrain clear on-off. And then this one will be regular on-off. So the drills will just be on, and then they can terrain clear or not. And then off. Okay. That'll do that. Now I'll probably need a block in here to do something with the drone control. But this is good for right now. Let's go get the drone and park you. You've got 2 connectors now. And a sorter. Well, you should just have a sorter for push. But you have inbound and outbound connectors. So when you land... oh, you still need a mag plate. You will land... you don't need a mag plate, though. You would land here and then not touch the front. But you would touch in the rear, which you could have a mag plate for security. Because people press P. Just turn off the parking on it. That's all you got to do. There. Because the front's going to miss everything. The back will actually touch. We'll be good. And then this mag plate does not auto lock, but I will use it for parking. And this connector, well, one won't be used for connections. This one will. I don't know which one you are. So the inbound connector is what I want on there. It's the outbound. So you need to become the inbound. Inbound will switch lock. And outbound, I'll actually come over here. Because, actually no, I don't even want that. I want that to throw, that's got to be on off. I won't use it for connecting. No, you can just throw out, remove, and then they can turn the sorter on off. Conveyor sorter on off. Right now I want you off because I don't want you to do anything. Connector, outbound connector. You will throw out. You will. No. And that's sorter. Outbound. Drain all. Take everything. And spit it out. And you're off right now, which is fine. That's what I want. You can land, proxy lock, and then those would turn off. And that's what I'd want. Perfect. And you've got a beacon on you. I've got navigational buoys. Oh, that actually fits the bed nicely. I still maintain that good shape there. Oh, I needed to modify the bottom half here. You rotate now. The other side did not. Or rather, I did not duplicate it. You had a triangle for here. That was that. That there, and then inverted triangle, so it didn't pop against there. There. That'll work. You also will need lights all over the place, but I don't think you have a whole lot of real estate for lights. I mean, I could put some lights. No, that's a half block too. No, no, that's all filled. This is all filled because it's half blocks. You have to stay there. You're glamour. Glamour. No, no, I can't even. Nope, nope, nope. Let's detach and look at wherever we have some real estate for you. Probably the underside. Yeah. Are you mirrored? You are not. Mirror mode. I can't stick lights there. Lights are the least of my problems at the moment. Also, I guess much braver issue. Did not label or list. Paint. You. You're all good now. I will deal with your lights later. Let's get you to function first. That looks pretty good. I should have the beacon. Your beacon. Learn to build key miner beacon. Learn to build key miner beacon. Perfect. And then AI. Flight. Sure, your speed can be whatever. That's fine. Pitch. 20. You probably can't support anything else. Learn to build keen flying miner. AI flight. I only have one task retorter. I have to keep doing it the right way. That's what I would have to do. No, I actually have to have two. I have to have two because I have to get away from here, and then I have to go to the dumping ground, which is two separate task recorders. So I need one more task to miner. 2 miner. This is actually the there we go. So let's detach you. You need those are elbows. You needed a second task recorder. That's why I didn't want to put random crap in here, because I could do task recorder. I need the task recorder rather. Task recorder's back there. Have one. That's good enough. Which means if I needed just random stuff, you can be lights. Priorities, priorities. Inset lights. Or lights could be out. Lights will be out. The laces were in. They were in. Okay. Land here. And we're good. So we are on point. I don't care about that. Let's get the AI. AI task 2 minor. I need you to reverse order. I need you to add waypoint. I need you to play on. Okay. So I am parked and I want to go Z for right now. So it doesn't bother anything. Oh, you almost messed up again. Task recorder. You are looking at... No, I will get you. Reference beacon. You need to be... Oh, crap, got two of them. Your beacon needs to be off. Now I can see what your actual thing's called. Task recorder beacon, you are... Why are you two? I don't want world coordinates, I want... Oh, you're the other one. Off. Now... Task recorder 2 minor. Beacon. Yes. You are my reference beacon. All points will be off of you. I want to see my points on the HUD. See my AI functions as I go. Because I'm sitting here, I will see it. I am attached with my thrusters on. If I will record, go here. That's a reverse order. I want to press 6 to add a waypoint. So I'm here, waypoint go. Now I want to release and off, release. We will waypoint again. One more above. And then I want it to have an approach here. So it'll go here and then over there. So if I say number 5, flight, because I got to turn these things on and off. Flight behavior on. Task 2 minor. Says your behavior is disabled, but you're trying to do something. Behavior 2 minor on. I've got waypoints. I don't want to do anything. So moving to 4. Let's look at my flight. Flight. Avoid. No. Precision. Yes. Speed. Oh, minimum altitude. No. And I'll have to adjust that along the way to the waypoints as well. Align to gravity. Yep. Precision. No. Behavior. Yep. And then I'll just go AI, because that's really what I'm looking at. Task order 2, miner, go. Go. Idle, play. You should go to 4. Four should be up and behind. Not exactly where I thought 4 was. Don't know what you're doing. Task. Trying to move to 3, which shouldn't be anywhere near over there. Show on HUD. Show AI functions. Turn you off and you off. Actually, the flight off that I need. And I still don't see my task recording. Behavior, play, show on HUD. I've got 4. Reverse order. Show the path on the HUD. Show my selected points. Got my reference beacon. Info. I should be able to see AI functions. To miner. Points placed. Behavior on. AI on. Light on. Behavior on. Recorder. Play. There you go. Now I can see your points. I just had to get out of the chair. I hit F and then it showed up. And I can't see the points because I'm not in it now. 2. And then you shouldn't be frustrated with that because you're way high anyways. Flight. Behavior's on. Avoidance off. Speed is fine. No movement input. You have a task movement input. You gave up. Play. Go to 4. Go to 3. Should be above it. This way I'm aligned appropriately to my grid no matter what I do. And then you give up. Why? Let's erase these. Waypoints go away. Delete all waypoints. Let's kill the AI. All of you off. Proxy off. That's where I want you. Or rather, Z on. And you're lined up enough there. Okay. AI task block. Flight recorder. Task to miner. Behavior off. You can turn on so you can learn from positions. I am on. Record 6. Record. or record. And now go away. My sick drift. You behavior on. Oh, you don't see the downward thruster, and that's why you couldn't move down, because you don't know how to turn things off. Okay. So you are going to get a new thruster too. That's why you're being dumb. At least that's why I think you're being dumb. Because you don't have one downward thruster. AI flight on, off, collision avoidance on, task go to play, show. I had the reference beacon still set up. Play. Oh, you went to 1 first. You got close to 1. Reverse order. 1, 2, and then 3. And then that's when I would just kick you off. But you're not precise enough. AI. That's order. Off. Move. Off. So I can fly. Yeah, because I need you to be extra precise for these flight movements. Which could be fine too. You know what? Why don't I just go over here and then turn on AI flight. Collision avoidance off. Precision on. Precision was on. Minor on. Play. Moving to waypoint 3, which is good. We're way off on that one. Sure. And down. I should. Let's do. We're going to clear all your waypoints again. Delete all the waypoints. I need the flight off. AI goes off. I want to drive. So how close I am? I'm kind of off, which is why it's way off. Okay, so if I scooch forward half a block. Oh, the mag plate's pushing me up too. That could also be dragging on it. Okay. Well, I think that's good. AI. Light stays off. Record mining path. Miner is the correct one. You can be 6 for this position, I want to come up to here, and then back to here, and then go away. And then from here, AI behavior flight on, behavior on, task recorder, behavior on. I want to reverse order. Should be going to 3. No matter where it turns to it, or no matter where it comes from, it'll go there. Flip around since it needs to reach 2 next. And then from 2, it'll come down to 3. And if I turn these off, we get a proxy lock. And that's what it'll have to do in order to get there. And then I can unlock that and then play. It's 5. Let's do play. Reverse order. Play on. 8. Oh, you went to 1, and now you're going to land again, because I want to reverse. There we go. Because once it gets to 3, I can kill thrusters. We have a proxy lock. Undo. You. 5 is reverse, and then play again. Now you can go up. There you go. Now you have a gentle up and an out. Great. And now we can drive, and my pathing will come with me. If I park over here, don't have a remote control on you. You don't even have an antenna. You do have an antenna. Why don't you have a remote control? You're getting a remote control, so I can tell you to do this one simple thing. 5, 8. Marvelous. Bloody marvelous. And then once it gets to 3, we'll kill power and proxy lock. And then we can do all those other little things in there too. But I think I'm at a good position right now. I really like where I'm at as far as this vehicle and its cohort go. Next, I will have to build a little base, and then I guess spawn a voxel and just continually drill from here. Or I can just throw rocks at it, and then it'll fill and go. But that'll be a small building that I have to make, and then a lot of programming I have to do. But for now, at least it flies and it lands, and I've got my little landing path. I'm pretty satisfied with that right now. We can get this good angle right here, and I'll move my picture back over. I think we did a pretty good job matching this angle. Oops, not that one. Transition back there. Desktop is what I wanted. Pro. Desktop capture. That's the one. Transition that guy in there. So I think I did a pretty good job capturing the likeness. We did the true to form, and I found there was a couple deficiencies. This didn't want to move, and we actually kind of fixed that by fixing the bed, because the design of the drone wasn't sufficient, at least what I had seen. to make this work appropriately. And the demo, you could have just told it to execute a remote flight and then dump and then come back. But that would not have necessarily made it fill. This should fill all the way through to the drills. The sorter in here should push, or we will program it to rather, always pull and push into that connector, which would be connected to the drone, which should always receive the filled cargo first and then depart after it leaves. The event controller detects that this cargo is whatever percentage full, and then bounce. And then that sorter in here just kind of sits. That's when these AI will take over, and they'll task one to go out to here, and then from here I need another installation with the reference beacon so I can fly over to it, and then that's when it'll hover over a collector, and then its ejector sorter will kick on until the cargo load is depreciated, and then it has to fly back to, I guess, this waypoint, because it'll swap its AI flight again. It'll reverse back to here and then fly down, land, and execute another series of timed, I guess they're more or less triggered events. No, there'll be a timer on that last one. There'll be a timer on that last one. So it can drop, actually land here and do its connections appropriately. But that's all I've got for right now. That's a big chunk done, and we'll continue working on this for the next one. But I'm also kind of interested to see what those other two blueprints that I found are. If it's just a look-like model or if it actually does something. But this is going to end up being very similar to the one that I already have, where I've got it dropping off to a base and back. But we'll go back and I'll even throw it in that same world so we can make it do the same thing and update the world. That way it's two birds with one stone, and then extra grid in that world. We can do this as a side grid by itself. Cool. I think that's a good plan. So until next time, go forth and build great things.